want to sprinkle a bit of that Arsenal red into the team.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. We have got another combined 11 between, surprisingly, two quite evenly matched teams. No, don't shoot me. I know that sounds stupid because this is Arsenal and Leicester. And, well, over the last couple of years, Leicester have been by far the more dominant team. But I think there's a few surprises. Scott, we've got a few disclaimers. This combined 11, it's not based on form. It could be form. It could be based on career. This is just if we are in a cup final or it's the last game of the season and you're aiming for top 4 or whatever it is, just a one-off game, this is the combined 11 you would want.
Yeah, the combined 11 as we'd want based on now.
So just the Leicester team, basically. Just Leicester.
Yeah. So let's jump straight into it, and I think we'll bring up as usual the little team thing that we do. I mean, should we just put the keeper straight in, because I think despite Ramsdale's obviously improved. He's improved since he first came to Arsenal.
Yeah,
it's got to be Schmeichel.
Oh, you were going that way, mate. This is Bernd Leno. Wait.
Just change it to Schmeichel.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Leno, you are finished.
I mean, what can you say about this guy? There's your good old daddy there.
Let's put his dad in instead. No, let's not waste time on that.
Peter Schmeichel, yeah. Again, we say this a lot when we do these types of videos. The biggest compliment you can pay Peter Schmeichel in this is that there's no debate. We just move on.
You mean Casper? It's because Peter came up on screen.
The best compliment I can give Kasper Schmeichel is that there's no contest. It's just Kasper Schmeichel. Move on. The guy's a Premier League legend. So that's it. That's literally it.
Yeah, I mean, let's move on to obviously the right back. And I don't think that's much up for debate either, is it? You've got to go for a good old Ricardo Pereira.
Not Bellerin. No, it's got to be Pereira. 2 assists this season, and he hasn't even had his best season. Ricardo Pereira, 27 years of age, as it just told me there. I'm going to pretend I knew that anyway. He's been if this is a cup final and I've got Pereira or Tomiyasu, I'm trying to think. I know they've also got Cascagna as well, Leicester. I'm trying to think who Arsenal's backup right back is. Either way, it's not a contest, is it?
No. And to be fair, I have to say, I have been quite impressed with Tomiyasu. He came for Arsenal, I really have. But like at the moment, you look at, obviously, as you say, if it was a cup final, he would I want it right back. It's no debate at the moment. It's Pereira.
I completely agree. I'm also going to say one thing now for 2 players, and I'm sure you'd agree on that as well. Are both your centre backs Leicester?
No.
What?
No, come on.
Really?
Where did you find that little clip from?
I've been waiting for like a week to use that. I've been waiting for you to say something stupid so I could bring in Roy Keane. Notice our little flag in the corner as well, our little logo. I've been waiting for a long time. Surprisingly, it's taken a long time for you to say something stupid. So you've got an Arsenal... you've gone Ben White, haven't you?
Of course you've got to go for Ben White.
Did you just say the words, of course you've got to go for Ben White?
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty obvious decision. You're putting Evans in and you're putting Ben White in. There's no debate.
Really?
I hate you.
If it wasn't for the fact that is so funny. By the way, guys, if you watch our videos, you're going to get annoyed by that clip over the next however long. How have you not got Johnny Evans and Soyuncu? Ben White was a meme for the first 3 or 4 games of the season. Him falling over, but ducking out of... Who have you dropped out of Soyuncu and Evans?
I've put Evans in based on, at the moment, I'd rather have Evans in.
A one-off game, you'd rather have Ben White than Soyuncu in? Oh, this is a one-off game.
I want Ben White in this team. We've got to
I don't think
sprinkle. I want to sprinkle a bit of that Arsenal red into the team.
No, this is not This is not about giving people equal opportunity or equal outcome. They've had the opportunity, and he hasn't done it. Do you know what?
I can't disagree more. I can't disagree more. Ben, he had a rough start, but since that, so did the whole Arsenal team, and they've now come together, and he's looking like a £50 million signing.
That calls for another Roy Keane. I think you're trolling me just to get bait. I think you're doing this just to get views, aren't you?
I would definitely put Ben White in to the point where I'm almost not willing to back down. So I don't know what we're going to do here.
You know what? I was just going to say this was meant to be a 20-minute video, and we both said we'll probably fly through because we never tell each other our teams. We said we'll fly through the defense because we said that's pretty self-explanatory. Well, it turned out it's not. So this 20-minute video will probably end up being 45. I am not moving, and I have the mouse. You want Soyuncu after what he's done in the Premier League over Ben White?
Well, why don't we at least put Johnny Evans in, because we agree on that, and we'll come back to it.
I'm surprised you've gone for Johnny Evans. I'm surprised you haven't said Saliba, who's playing in France.
Saliba is actually doing pretty well for France.
He's actually smashing it. Yeah, if you could have Arsenal players that aren't at the club, Saliba probably would be in fairness. But
should we move on to the easier left back position? I honestly don't know what we're going to do here, because I don't know how you cannot choose Ben White.
Well, sadly, we have to go for Tierney. He's an all right player. He'll give you a 6 every week, but I'm not his biggest fan. I think he's overrated. I see people trying to compare him to Robertson.
I don't think there's any comparison to Robertson, but I do think he's a brilliant left back, especially in the. Do you know what? The left backs and right backs are starting to become a bit of a dying age in the quality, and especially in just in general in football. For me, there's not that many good, wing backs, right backs, left backs, whatever you want to call them. I think it's a position that's really starting to deteriorate, and I think Tierney's a very good, solid choice. I don't think he's at a Robertson level, but I still think he's a great player, and his delivery out on the wings as well is good.
I agree with you with that comment. I think wing backs are a problem at the moment, and I think it's because football changed so quickly in that area of the pitch. You can probably thank Antonio Conte for that. I mean, people saw what he did with Victor Moses and went, "Oh, well, we need wing backs now." So it's going to take another generation. In 5 or 10 years, we'll start having these wing backs that play now how they are. The days of Gary Neville's and that kind of player are gone. I'm not moving on Soyuncu. We'll have to literally go through the rest of the team and come back. Yeah?
Yeah, let's do that then. I'd
rather leave it blank and let the viewers at home decide in the comments. I am not putting Ben White in a combined 11 of Arsenal and Leicester. And we'll move on. We've got to move on. I'm hoping we got this one, man. Yuri Tielemans?
Yes, Tielemans is in. We can agree on that.
The fact that I have to ask you that question is embarrassing. But what can you say about this man? In the Premier League alone this season, 3 goals and 2 assists. I've spelled it right, haven't I? There we go.
Yeah, there he is.
3 goals, 2 assists in the Premier League so far. His goal at the weekend, that thunderstruck. The guy's just incredible. He probably will get a move, if not January in the summer. Stalling on contract details, but he's probably the easiest name in this team. I think the easy, maybe Kasper Schmeichel as well.
Yeah, I can't agree more with Tielemans. As you say, great player, and I think an easy one to put in a combined 11. I'm going to throw my other sentiment at you and hope this doesn't cause a massive debate as well. But for me, the other midfielder that comes in is, we have to get this Partey started. Thomas Partey.
Do you know what? I did go for Partey.
Thank God for that.
Over Ndidi. I think Thomas Partey is so good. He played so much football at Atletico Madrid. The second he goes to Arsenal, injured. I don't know what it is about this club. And it was the same when we were at school. Arsenal players were just injured all the time, even 15 years ago. What do they do to these people? For me, Ndidi was close. It was a flip of a coin. I just think he hasn't found that form that he had a year or 2 ago when he was probably one of the best defensive midfielders or sitting midfielders in Europe and by default the world. But he just hasn't found that form.
About 2 years ago. I remember saying about Ndidi and going that Do you know what? You can't replace Kante, but Christ, they've pretty much nearly
They've done
replaced
well.
him.
They've done well. No, I completely agree. Now, this is where it's going to get a bit dicey. Well, actually, we've already got a bit of fucking dice, and that's at the bottom of the picture. And I can't believe you're trying to give me Ben White. I don't even want to do this video anymore. It's that bad of a pick. Who's your Cam? Who's your Cam?
Who is my Cam? Well, do you know what? I was debating putting. I was going to go. I think the obvious choice is James Maddison, but when you actually, especially after he's you know, the way he's performed in the last game or so. But then I started to question myself about that. Obviously, he hasn't had the best season so far. Obviously, Leicester haven't in general. There's been questions just in general over his play in certain elements of his game. And right now, if I had to pick a player for a one-off game, I honestly, and this is going to trigger you, I'd put Smith Rowe there.
That's who I've gone for.
What? Oh, okay.
Unlike
I was ready. That's why I went for so much of a major pitch. I was like, I am going to have to sell you this. So, are you a bit like me as well? I feel like something's dropped off with James Maddison. I don't feel like he's the same player, but he was perhaps a year or two ago. A bit like Ndidi.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I just want to say, first of all, unlike you, I don't have any agendas. I do think Smith Rowe I would have in my cup final team as of right now because I think he works out a little bit harder. I'm slightly going to contradict myself here, but I think the people watching this at home will know what I mean. If James Maddison plays 38 Premier League games this season for Leicester in that team, and Smith Rowe plays 38 Premier League games this season in that Arsenal team, I think Maddison would get more figures. I think he gets more goals and assists. But one, that's not how football works. No. Two, I think Smith Rowe is more for the cause. I think in a final, he'll help you out. He'll die to get that trophy, to get that medal. And I'm not saying Maddison wouldn't, but you know, we know about him. He's a carefree guy. He's launching clothing brands. I just think that I think he's going to be one of those players that is out of the game by 31, 32, unless he turns it round. I don't see him playing football until he's 35, 36. I just feel like in a final, Smith Rowe's got a goal in him and he can dribble the ball as good as anyone in the league, really. I just think on the day, Smith Rowe will give you more going forward, he'll press, and he'll do more tracking back.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that, to be fair. As you said, he's got that work right. And it's a good point with James Maddison. You just wonder if he's a bit like one of those players that it was never a massive dream or ambition, or he's just fell out of, maybe not fell out of love with the game. That's maybe a bit harsh, but you can see, can't you, maybe one of those players that's not going to be trying to be an athlete still at the age of 35, 36, still trying to perform at the highest level.
He reminds me, do you remember Asu Akoto, who played left-back for Spurs? Very good left-back. And he said, you know, there's famous quotes in autobiographies of Redknapp and other players. He'd get on the coach and ask who we're playing that week. Like, he didn't know. He was just very good at football, but he didn't like football. I'm not saying Maddison's that far over. I just feel like he's so good at it, he can make millions of pounds, but I'm going off a bit topic here, but for me, I think Smith Rowe will do more for you on the day in that final or that last game of the season. That's just me.
Yeah, definitely. Left wing then, who have you gone for?
Left wing for me, I have gone for a man that's got 4 goals and 1 assist this season, and people have said he's had a very bad season again. Aubameyang. I just think again in a final, that big game, you want Aubameyang in there. If he gets half a chance, he just finds a way of putting the ball in the net. And I think he'd work really well with the other 2 players I've got.
You've actually surprised me, to be fair, because I actually thought I put down Harvey Barnes, I'll be honest. I wanted Harvey Barnes in, but I didn't consider that Aubameyang can play wide. I think you've done that very well in terms of I can imagine who your striker's going to be. I think you've done well to get Aubameyang, and let's just say who it's going to be. It's going to be Vardy, isn't it? I presume you as a striker option.
You haven't gone for Martinelli?
Martinelli.
This video is so messed now.
Do you see Nketiah's goal was absolutely beautiful, weren't it? Midweek.
It was actually, yeah. It really was. Hold on. I've got a hair in my mouth.
But yeah, Aubameyang definitely goes in. Once you said it, I was like, yeah, I've made a mistake here. But I'm going to be true to what I put on the paper. I did go for Harvey Barnes.
Oh shit! I've put Aubameyang in. We haven't even agreed.
No, it is agreed. Don't worry, it's agreed.
Oh, I really do like Harvey Barnes. I really, really do. I think he's going to be a very good player. He's just one of those players where whether it's falling out of favour with the manager, or injuries, or taking slight knocks, or illness. I don't know what it is. Has he ever played 7 Premier League games in a row, or even 6? This sounds stupid. I'm not a Leicester fan. I don't know. I like to think I watch a lot of football, but has Harvey Barnes ever played 6 or 7 games in a row? Never mind 10 or 12. Listen, I know, again, I'm contradicting myself because this is a final and this is a one-off game. You still can't choose Harvey Barnes over Aubameyang, can you? He turns up in those big games.
Well, you don't want your player going off injured in a final either, because that would disrupt the whole game plan, doesn't it?
Very true. I don't think many Leicester fans.
Harvey Barnes, he's not been starting since Brendan switched to more of a back 5 and using the wing back. So yeah, at the moment, based on obviously who I'd want, Aubameyang is a goal scorer, isn't he? And that's why we've also got to slide in Jamie Vardy into that discussion as well. He's got to be obviously the striker choice.
So you're not even going to let me try and defend Martinelli?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Yeah, Jamie Vardy, Premier League legend. What can you say about this guy? Again, people are saying he hasn't had the season that he's had before. Seven goals in 9 games. Premier League. Actually, has he played every game? He might have. But 7 goals and an assist. The guy's unstoppable. One of the greatest to ever play in the Premier League. What can you say about him? And again, the biggest compliment is for him. There's no debate. It's just, put him in.
Yeah, to be fair, as you said with Vardy, it's one of them where you can't believe he's still scoring at the rate he is. There was perhaps like a feeling that he might have been on his way out in terms of just on the bench when obviously the signing of Xhaka, who is looking to be Vardy's successor, but not yet. Vardy's just kind of fought back against that with his Iron Brew before. Is it an Iron Brew he has before a match day?
Is it Iron Brew or Red Bull? Is it Red Bull? I think it's Red Bull. It's probably Red Bull, isn't it?
He
has like 5 pounds of Red Bull a day, doesn't he, or something stupid? But he was out of the team a little bit towards last season when Iheanacho was in the form of his life, but he's proven how good he is. He's such a team player. And again, in the big games, I want Vardy leading the line out of these 2 squads. On the right, there's a few players here, Scott. You've got Saka, you've got Perez you could put in. You could argue Harvey Barnes maybe on that side. I swear to God, for any of our regulars, that they might know what's coming here. And even you, Scott Lavender, you have not, or you're not going to try and pitch me Nicola Pepe, are you?
No, I'm not actually, because as you know, there is one player that I love even more than Nicolas Pepe, and that has to be Mr. Bukayo Saka.
Hold on, just sorting out my lights. Bukayo Saka. That's what
Thank God.
Bukayo Saka.
I mean, what more can you say about Saka? I think what's really interesting for me is, of course, Arsenal didn't start the season well, but for a young lad, after obviously missing that decisive penalty in the Euros, I mean, look, we can go over about how bad that choice is for the penalty shootout was from Gareth Southgate to give the last penalty to a young lad like that. Obviously, the other players he chose, it was very confusing, but bravery. He showed bravery by stepping up, and he showed even more about what he's about afterwards, because it hasn't let him ruin his career. And I know that sounds stupid, but there would be some players at that young age. You could even question Mbappe's performances since obviously what happened in the Euros for France. Saka's just carried on, hasn't he? He's just carried on, and I think more credit to him.
I completely agree with everything that you said and more. And again, in a final, he's got that courage. He's got the cojones. I think he'll step up if he needs to take a penalty again. I really like this guy. He's only got 1 goal and 1 assist this season in the league, but I think his performances have warranted better than that. Yes. I really do. I think he's been better than the stats show. So, Scott, what do we do? We've never, ever, and I say never, we've only done like 5 of these, but so far, we've never, ever, ever left a combined team unfinished.
One of us is going to have to concede, aren't they?
I can't wait for the comments to come in because I think even neutral fans are going to look at this and go, "Oh, Scott."
I think there's going to be a few complaints here. I reckon Leicester fans will not be happy with the Maddison choice. Look, I'll let you have it.
No, I don't want you. I don't want you to just say that because I've got the mouse and I'm like God right now.
you don't want me to say it because inevitably it means you have the final say.
Well, listen. Do you genuinely believe if you had the mouse right now, would you put Soyuncu in, or would you say no? Because if so,
I'd probably put Ben White in.
Well, I'll tell you what. Then we are a democracy here. It's 1 against 1. So for the first time ever, we've both backed down a lot on previous videos where we have let the other person have it when we feel like, oh, it should be mine. But I'm not moving on this one. I am not having Ben White over Soyuncu.
Yeah, I think if people have made it this far, basically let the comments decide. If you are watching and you've made it this far into the video, drop a comment, let us know who you'd put in, and I suppose whoever gets the most comments from it ends up in the team.
I mean, we'll probably never do this this combined 11 this season again. But I mean, for the pride, the personal pride I'll take from allowing, hopefully, loads of people telling you how wrong you are, I'll sleep well knowing that tonight. Yeah.
Wait and see. I think people will want Ben White in.
You really think people will want Ben White in?
Yeah.
Really?
You're an idiot. Guys, if you have enjoyed this, please hit the like button. More importantly, subscribe to the channel. I'll be if there is any new viewers watching this, I'll usually say we'll see you on the next one. I highly doubt we will, but after this gamble. But yeah, it's been a pleasure to have you watch.
All our regulars, they're going to start unsubscribing soon when they start seeing Roy Keane every video. But yeah, it is what it is. Guys, thanks for watching. Scott.
Goodbye.